What is going on, Wildlife X team? This is Michael here, and in today's video we're going to be talking all about trees. Trees look like very simple kind of things compared to our moving creatures like humans and other animals, but they actually have several different complex parts. So in today's video we're going to go over just the bare basics, the function it serves for the trees, and the benefits that trees have on the world, on society, on ecosystems, basically everything. So trees breathe carbon dioxide and they release oxygen, making them very, very important and vital for human survival because we breathe oxygen but release carbon dioxide. So we breathe what the trees let out and we let out what the trees breathe. So it's a perfect relationship of both of us being together. And trees can be found basically all over the world except for some deserts, and even in some deserts you can find certain variations of trees in the very far north and the very far south, where it is very hard and the climate is horrible for trees to grow. Trees are much more larger than people realize as well. While they might go up a certain degree, usually they go as far down into the earth as far up as they go. So they're also moving in several different directions. So first we're going to talk about the roots. The roots are the part of the tree that keep it grounded in the earth. You can't see the roots. The roots go beneath the tree. So if you have your tree here and then the soil is right here, so you're walking right here, the tree is here, the roots go far, far, far beneath the surface, and they're going to spread out in all kinds of different directions, go very deep. As high up as the tree is as deep as the roots will go. The roots provide stability for the tree, so if there's wind or a tornado or a hurricane or a storm, the tree isn't going to go completely flying. It keeps it stuck in the earth and it's going to keep it stable, and these roots are also going to collect nutrients and water from the soil, and it's going to store it so that way if the tree is not having a lot of water, it's going through a dry period, it's going to be using those reserves in the roots and just kind of holding on to that. The next part of the tree is the crown. The crown is the top of the tree. So you have your bottom right here, the roots beneath it, you have the trunk, and then you have the crown, which consists of the leaves, branches, the top of the trunk, basically everything which is literally like the head of the tree. The function of this is to collect sunlight and use a process called photosynthesis in the leaves to turn this into sugar, so that way the tree can kind of eat that for food. But also the function of this, while collecting sunlight from above, is it blocks sunlight beneath it so water can stay cooler. For example, we mentioned that water is going to be stored in kind of the bottom of the tree area. The reason why it has this crown is so beneath it stays cooler, so the water is going to be less likely to evaporate. If it's less likely to evaporate, the tree is going to retain more of the water that it has. So inside of the crown we have branches. Branches are literally any piece of wood that is going to go away from the trunk. So you have your roots, you have your trunk, your crown, and all of the little branches that hold leaves. That is basically qualifying as a branch. And the purpose of this is just to get the leaves as far spread out as possible, and it's also going to store nutrients. If the tree is collecting a lot of resources, these nutrients are also going to go into the branches, and it's also going to store sugar there, which are going to all act as nutrients. The leaves, everyone knows what leaves are. They turn different colors when the season changes, and the whole purpose of the leaves is to collect sunlight and water. If water falls down on it, it's going to collect it, bring it into the branch, and also the other purpose of it is to simply collect sunlight. The purpose of plants in general, especially trees, is they collect sunlight and they use a process called photosynthesis. This process turns the sunlight into sugar, and the sugar goes into the branches and can be used as food in the trunk, keeping the whole tree alive. Also, in the winter, as you see, the leaves will basically leave the tree. The reason for this is because you're going to have less sunlight, so there's not really a purpose to having these leaves there and trying to keep them alive. And so the tree kind of hibernates, if you will, and it just kind of freezes in its own location. So the leaves will go away in the winter because it's simply too cold, the temperature's too brutal, there's not enough sunlight. But then in the summer, you'll see all of the leaves are green, they're abundant, they're plentiful, they're collecting resources and getting sunlight. And then of course we have the trunk of the tree. The trunk is like my body right here. My roots would be my legs beneath me, which you can't see, but if I were to compare myself to a tree, my body right here is the trunk, my head is the crown. Of course, it's not a huge big crown, but it would be, leaves would be right here. We would have branches out, that would be like my arms, which would also be part of the crown. Is it would come out have leaves on them, collect sunlight, and get resources. My trunks are my legs beneath me, which are going to keep me grounded, stable. They're not going to keep my body from flying around and going all crazy and whatnot. And the trunk is just the base of it, which holds everything together. Now that's kind of the basics of one single tree. There are several different types of trees, all kinds of different variations suited for cold climates, warm climates, not clients, but climates. And we also have trees for, just basically every single environment. There's several different types of trees, and if you look up the different environments like a deciduous forest or a desert or Great Plains, you're gonna have all kinds of different trees which are suited for their own environment. But generally speaking, all of the trees and plants are going to kind of follow this pattern where you have a trunk, a body, the crown with the branches and leaves, and roots beneath it, which are going to keep the plant or the tree very stable and collect resources, etc. So as we mentioned earlier, trees are very, very important. They kind of feel life a little bit. Plants in general do that. In previous videos, we've talked about the flow of energy in an ecosystem and how it all starts with plants. And without plants and sunlight, all of life would not be possible on Earth. And trees are very integral as well because of the oxygen that they release, because of the shade and all of the other benefits associated with nature. Our next video that we're going to make is going to be about the hidden benefits of trees in nature. We're going to be talking about actually some of the shocking benefits that people don't realize to planting trees and integrating our cities with nature. So make sure to hit that subscribe button so that way you can be notified when we release this video. We hope you guys learned a lot and enjoyed this video. Again, my name is Michael with Wildlife X Team. Leave a thumbs up, let us know what you think in the comment section below, and we will see you later. Thank you.